Hi, sharks. Happy Money Monday. You know that time of year. It is the second week of the new year. Um, things are happening. You're thinking about your New Year's resolutions. You're working towards an amazing 2023. But have you thought about your 2022? Do you know where you stand financially? It is tax season, right? We have now entered what is arguably the busiest time for me and people like me. Um, you know, your accountant is going crazy asking you for documents. You got to get your 1099s done. If you run a small business, I want you to think about where you're at this year. Are you ready? Um, a lot of accountants are going to need your 1099s by next week. So, where are you at with them? Have you been collecting W-9s from people? Now, if you don't know who you should be collecting from or who needs to get a W-9 and who you need to give a 1099 to, there are some big rules of thumb. Okay, so number one, anyone that you pay more than $600 to as a business, and they are not a corporation. So anyone that is not a corporation that you have paid more than $600 to in 2022 needs a 1099. The way that you issue that 1099 is you present them with the W-9. They fill that out, and that form is available online. They fill that out, send it back to you, and then you could give it to somebody like me, and we can issue you a 1099. Those can be e-filed. It's a very quick, easy, painless process. All you need to have is that completed W-9, and you need to know how much you paid them. Now, who doesn't need it? Okay, someone that you've paid as an employee does not need that. Okay, they are W2, they are totally different. Somebody that has a corporation, don't worry about it. Don't have to give it to them. Anyone that you paid with credit card, don't worry about. It is not on you. Yes, they have to report that income, but it is not on you to report that for them in a 1099. Actually, it is on the credit card companies to report that. Who else? Oh, no, if you bought goods from them, they do not need a 1099. It is for people that provided services for your business, independent contractors. So people like me, bookkeepers, your accountant, if that's not a corporation, your lawyer, if they don't have a corporation, um, freelancers that are working for you, marketing people. Um, who else? People that clean, right? So a lot of you have people that come in and clean your office. Those people need to get 1099s. It is for two things, right? It is going to protect you, right? It First of all, the government needs this so that they can make sure that that other person who doesn't have a corporation is paying taxes on the money that you gave it to them. The other thing is it also protects you in case of an audit. If you don't have these, if you're not issuing these 1099s, if you haven't given them to people and you paid them in cash, how do you prove that you actually had that expense? How do you prove that you actually gave that person the money? Then you might end up having to pay taxes on money that you paid to someone else. So think about it. And for 2023, make sure that anyone, before you pay them, as a general rule of thumb, before you pay somebody, give them a W-9 and get that information first. Because honestly, trying to get it at this point of the year, I'm going to tell you, it is always a hassle. It is always, it's always a little bit of a risk that you're taking by waiting until the end of the year or the beginning of the new year to get that W-9 filled out. The person has the most incentive to fill it out and be compliant before they get paid, right? If you tell somebody, I can't pay you until I have this, and you can blame it on people like me, right? You can blame it on your accountant, you can blame it on your bookkeeper, you can blame it on your virtual CFO, and just say, hey, my bookkeeper, my CFO will not issue payment until we have these forms filled out. And that is the easiest, simplest way to do it. Trust me, I have been down this road. I have had cases, even in my own business, when I have failed to take my own advice, right? That I have had cases where I had at the end of the year, I asked them for it and they were just like, no, not going to give it to you. And that puts you in a very difficult position, right? Because on the one hand, you can technically issue a 1099 without that information. You can issue it with just the person's name or the information that you have about them. But in the majority of cases, that is going to trigger an audit. That is going to trigger an audit for them, which ultimately can blow back on you. So it's a really fucking hard thing to decide. What do you do at that point? Sometimes you're just like, I'm going to eat it. And if an audit comes and I have to pay the taxes, I have to pay the taxes. That might be the case. Don't let yourself get into that position. This year for 2023, get the W-9s before you pay people. Blame me. I'm fully okay with you using me and being like, hey, so my virtual CFO, my bookkeeper, my controller said, I cannot pay you without having this document in hand. And I'm totally fine. You need me to get on the phone with them? I will get on the phone with them. Just make sure that you are taking care of this, before it gets to this point. If you're at that point this year, that's fine. Reach out to people, get what you need, and if you need help, reach out to me. You need to issue 1099s. They have to be given to the people before January 31st. So we are in crunch time right now for that. The other thing that you're in crunch time for, or at least I'm in crunch time for, is a lot of people are looking at what they did last year. They are thinking about lines of credit. They are thinking about loans. They are thinking about ways to expand and grow their business. You cannot do those things without a proper set of books, without a fully, reconciled, fleshed out year of 2022. You want to start now, right? If you have not done your 2022 stuff, now is the time. You are not able to make good decisions without real-time info. And that real-time info is 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 based on where you are in reality. And if you are just using what is in your head and not using what is actually in your books, you are not operating with the best information. And you might choose to do something that is not right for you and not right for your business. I do not want that for you. So make sure that if you haven't done it yet, that you are thinking about fixing your 2022, that you are making sure that you get everything, all the data in, everything reconciled, everything looked at, everything gone over to make sure that you know where you stand financially, that you know what were your best months, what were the worst months? What did you do differently during those months? Is it just your busy season, or is it a certain product that is better than the other products that you're selling, right? Focus on what makes you the most. Work smarter, not harder. You want to focus on the things that matter. You want to be efficient. And without real data, you just can't do that. So please make sure that not only are you looking at 2022, what you did in 2022, and getting real data out of it, but you're also using that data to strategically plan for 2023. And if you haven't had a bookkeeper or a virtual CFO or strategic planning meetings with anyone about your 2022, make sure that you do that for 2023. It is so important to have a plan. It is so important, especially with a small business. We are facing so many different things this year. We are facing inflation. We are facing a crazy type of inflation that we have not seen in the past. At least I haven't seen it with my business, and I've been in business since 2015. That's not hella long, but it's also not a short time. And this type of inflation has not happened in a long time. And we need to work with it. I have seen on my social media feed so many businesses closing down this year in the first month of the year, and it hurts to see that. And I know that that is because expenses have gone up and it is higher. It is harder, it is more difficult to run a business now than it ever has been before. We have to raise our prices. We have to think about, you know, cutting expenses, figuring out how to go without. Those are really, really, really tough questions and really tough decisions that you have to make. And if you're making them with imperfect data, that makes it so much harder. So get the data you need. Make sure that this year you are doing as best as you possibly can, that you are taking note of all the different places in which you're bleeding money, in which the boat is sinking, right? There are holes. There are holes, and you've got to plug it. And in order to plug it, you need to know where they are. So please make sure that that is what you are focusing on now in these first few weeks of January. Figure out where those holes were. Make a plan to plug them up, because the way that you're going to thrive in 2023 is data, is information, is knowing, is making decisions that are based in reality, that are based in your reality, that are based in your truth, in what matters. And you can only get to that place by opening your eyes, by seeing what's actually there. You cannot, it is not the time right now to stick your head in the sand and be like, I'm just going to pick it up when things are better, because it might not get better for you. Putting your head in the sand never helps. It only delays the problem and makes it fester. And that is not what you want for yourself. I promise you that if you open it up and you just take a look at it, however bad it is, however hard or difficult it seems, it is better when you have a plan, and it can only go up from there. Right? If you don't look at it, it can spiral, right? It can go down, it can just take over. It takes control of you instead of you taking control of it. So I want you right now to go and take control. See what actually has been happening. And this goes for personal finance too. Find out where your holes were in 2022. What do you need to shore up? What do you need to plug up? What do you need to make sure that your ship is smooth sailing for 2023? This is 100% for your personal as well. Think about 2022. Go over 2022. Think about what you want differently for 2023 and set a plan to make that happen. And if you need help, I can help you with both of those things. Don't mind the way I look right now. It is a long day. It has been a long week. This is my busy season, so it's stressful. I'm tired, but I will always 100% make time for you. I just last week, I had somebody who was like, I have this one day and I know that you're busy, but I need to talk to you because I have questions. I set aside half an hour for that person because I knew, like, I get it. You need to ask questions. It makes sense for you. You need to get stuff done immediately. No problem. I will make time for you. I had another client that needed their stuff for their accountant this week. We met on Friday. We had an hour session on Friday where, I explained everything in her books to her and gave her everything that she needed to get her taxes done. I'm here and I am willing to help and I want to help because I want you to succeed. So please reach out to me. You can reach out to me here if you're watching this video. You can ask me questions, comment. If you're watching it now or on the replay, I'm here for you. You can comment on the video. You can reach out to me on social media, Financial Sharktress in all of the places. You can email me, galit@financialsharktress.com. You can go to the links in my bio and book a 15-minute free session. I will give you as much information as I have in those 15 minutes. And honestly, I have to be better about holding them to 15 minutes, but if it takes 20, I will give you 20 minutes of all of the information that you need. I will not hold back. That is just not my style. So if you just need somebody to talk to for 20 minutes to bounce ideas off of, I'm here for you because I want you to succeed. When you succeed, we all succeed. And that's the community that I love and that I want to build. And that's the community that I foster around finance. I don't want it to be something that is withheld. I don't want it to be something that I don't tell people what to do because then they won't need me. That's not how I operate. If you don't need me, you don't need me, and that's totally fine. And I want you to be happy and do and be exactly who you need to be and how you need to be. Whatever fits in your life is what's good for me. So reach out to me, share this video with anyone that you feel needs to see it. Like, subscribe. I'm on YouTube and all of the places. Irene, thank you for saying I'm gorgeous. I feel so tired and feel a little bit better post shower, but not feeling my best at the moment. Just been working really hard. I'm so glad that you would love to chat with me. I would love to chat with you too. I miss you. So please reach out and book your discovery calls. Reach out and just say hello. If you got my number, text me. I know so many of you have my card or my number or my email. I'm here for you and I'm willing to help. So don't be discouraged. This is a good thing, right? Figuring out where you are and figuring out where you need to be are always good things. It is always going to take you on the path to more, on the path to striving, on the path to thriving, on the path to making the most out of your dreams and actually achieving your goals. So don't be afraid of it. Please go ahead and do it. Now is the time. Have an amazing Money Monday, everyone. Have a great night. I love you all, sharks. And if you need me, I'm here. Bye.